throw it in the end zone on fourth down, and the clock ends with us having the football, I'm all for it, and worst case scenario, you take a sack or something, you have to punt it. I don't like punting, really any time, but, that was to me the worst case scenario. But, I guess I'm always just aggressive that way. And you try to weigh the risk reward and put the trust in the guys, things we talk about. That'd be something, obviously, me and Jay Mill, Coach Sheridan, we'll sit and talk about. And just when we're in that moment and we want to keep the pedal down and try to give ourselves another play, I'm looking for anything. Pass might be defensive pass interference. It could be anything that gives us one more play. We've seen crazier things happen, right? And so that's just the aggressiveness I like to have. Now, we'll talk about the trust, and I think the guys appreciate when you put the trust in, but we have to learn from those things when they do happen, because obviously they got 3 points of it. 3 points out of it. It's probably the last thing I was thinking about when it did happen. So,
Steven, second row left.
Coach, what does it say about Damani's toughness? Got the injury there earlier in the game, but to come back and had the game-sealing pick, just Damani's toughness.
Yeah, it is. And I think he'll be fine. Obviously, he was back out there, so the guy wants to go out there. He's had a great season so far. He's someone we got a lot of confidence in, and we wanted to just use him at the right times, the right moments in the second half when those times came up, and again, finding a way to pull it down and concentrate on the ball. And kind of most people would look at it as an easy pick, but you got to still be there and you still got to make the play. So definitely proud of the fight that he had and wanting to be back out there, considering he did go down earlier in the game.
Katie, front row right.
You had some penalties today that extended drives for South Carolina, the one that set up the safety for y'all. Just kind of what's it going to take to clean up the penalties?
Yeah. I mean, it's penalties. We're striving for zero. And that's what we're trying to do, and we emphasize it. Every situation is a learning one, and we're going to talk about that. Like, we have to read body language of what's happening. I haven't seen it, so what I say may just be totally not correct, but the understanding is that when he comes across the field, I know what his responsibility is, but when he's coming across the field, he doesn't hear a whistle. You just got to kind of at some point have a sense of where what's happening in front of you, and if your guy has slowed down or anything like that, when you hit him. But I know the ball wasn't that deep into the end zone. I thought we might even field it and bring it out. I think it was a late decision on whether we were going to do that and let it go. So, it wasn't something where he's egregiously trying to go out and get a penalty. It's just more of a matter of reading what's happening in front of you and instinctually knowing that the play, is a touchback. And so again, that's something I'm sure I'll see on film and understand. How close was it? I think by the letter of the law, yeah, probably a penalty, right? Ball's touchback and all that. So we can't have it. We can't do it. And, that was one that hurt us because it put us in that situation for the safety. So just those plays kept feeding on each other, the small things, which that's a big thing, but the small things add up, and we find ourselves in a fight till the end.
Let's go up the middle with Emily Grace.
Coach, what would you attribute the struggles the defense is facing on third down to, and where do you want to see some improvement there?
What were we? 7 for 15. They were 7 for 15. I think they had 5 on one drive, right? 4 or 5, something like that. I remember talking about it on the sideline. And so the rest of the half, 2, right? 2 for the rest of the game, 2 for 10. Is that right? I'm just doing rough math. So you can't have 5 of them in a drive, right? And I think there's just just that desire to find a way to make the play. I'll watch the film and we'll all understand what happened on a lot of those. They were in some good situations on some, but I remember the ball they caught over the middle was advantageous for us as far as the down and distance. And that's the one where you really got to get off the football field. And those are hard to convert just from an offensive side, and they did. So, a lot of the game I felt like we were doing a solid job. Can't say we were doing a great job, but that drive certainly coming out in the second half set the tone and made it hard for us the rest of the game. So you got to start a little faster when we come out. We talk about the middle 8 going into the locker room, coming out. They got the ball, and then they had those points at the end of the first half. We just got to do a good job of starting fast, in the middle part of the game, and then obviously finishing. I think we did some things on both ends, but we got to do a good job there before going to the locker room, taking that momentum in.
At Time for 2 more questions. Let's start on the right with Tony.
Hey, right here, Kalen. It's probably easier said than done in the moment, but had Jeremy gone down at the 1 yard line, the game's over. Do you talk with him about that? And the same kind of thing with maybe Damani at the end of the interception. Do you talk about, hey, just kneel it?
Yeah, we have all those calls in. We practice them every Friday. That was honestly, I'll just say that you try to make them aware that they don't have any timeouts. That's a situation. And so we'll talk about that. Those are things that hit us. The one with Damani, I just talked to him about it, and again, this is where we learn, and, what his mindset is I'm going to run out the clock, and so, true, right? But we all understand all we got to do is go down, take a knee. And so those are just things that we got to continue to learn from. Fortunately, nothing happened at the end there, whether it's an injury or obviously even something else to where there's another play, something freakish happens. So, just continue to coach, continue to teach. You talk about those things and you think that everyone's good, just take a knee in the end zone, understanding there's no timeouts. We knew that. But then he comes out with that, and that was the last thing I expected him to say. But love the kid, love the play, and, we'll learn from it. So.
Finish up with Colin, far right.
Hey, Kalen, over here. You mentioned that 16-play drive, the one with the 5 third down conversions for South Carolina. Do you sense opposing offenses kind of continuing, the long drive narratives, like the ones where it's just, it seems like they're doing everything to keep the ball in hand, 9-minute drives, long scoring drives? Do you see that continue from? Was it similar to what Vanderbilt did to you guys? Do you see a similar approach of opposing offenses?
I think these two offenses we faced are more built to have just drives that continue to have plays stack on top of each other. I know they got the explosive on the 4th down against our coverage with the ball down the sideline, and I think it took the safety out of the picture there, but I think it fit more of them and, the running back, quarterback, guys that just kept moving the chains 3 yards, 4 yards, trying to get in those 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, convert, slants or something like that just to keep the drive alive. But, I can't say that they are or aren't. But, obviously it's frustrating when they can put 5 third downs together and then, you start wearing on your defense again. They're out there a long time, and the longer the drive happens, the better chance they have of obviously scoring. All right, thank you. Roll Tide.
Jeremy Bernard, you got 10 minutes. Jeremy, on that your touchdown catch, was there any thought going down so you could just kneel it out, or was your head down?
My job was to catch the ball. I wasn't worried about anything else but to catch the ball.
What was communicated to you, though, by your coaches about that?
We just called the play, and we executed the play. They didn't say anything about getting down to me, so I just went and scored the touchdown.
Jeremy, you're getting more and more comfortable in this offense. Can you just talk about what's feeling good and what you looking to improve upon and just going forward and things of that nature?
Yeah, I think we played a great game. As an offense, there's obviously more work we have to do. We can execute better, and stay on the field. On the long third downs. We shoot ourselves in the foot when we do that, but as long as we execute, and play the game that we're supposed to, we'll put a lot of points on the board.
What are some lessons you could take from this win now heading into Tennessee?
Just playing the whole 4 quarters, not playing one half or playing 1 quarter. We have to show up every single quarter, show up every single play, and like Coach says all the time, go and 1-0 every play, be perfect every play, and like I said, it just comes down to execution, and if we execute properly, we won't have any issues.
Jeremy, what was the message from the coaching staff when you guys, after the pick in the end zone, you're down 19-14, but you get it back? What was the message to you guys?
Just continue to stay focused in the game. Just continue to execute at a high level. Coach said that we'll have a drive to go down and to be able to score, and that's what we did.
Is there a special challenge to be able to catch the ball when there's nobody around you?
I mean, I think it just takes focus, and we practice on that every single day, and at the end of the day, that's my job to do is catch the ball. So when the ball is in the air, that's what I have to do.
I know you said it wasn't brought up, but now in the back of your mind in that situation, are you going to be thinking about like maybe going down at the one, just with given the circumstances, I guess, you know?
Yeah, now that I know, next time I'll have that in the back of my mind and to be able to do that next time we're in that situation. Hopefully we're not in that situation no more.
Jeremy, what's your instant reaction to this performance, given all the noise that was made through the week?
Like I said, it's a great team win. We don't really focus on the outside noise. We try to keep it internal, and we have a brotherhood, and we know what it takes to win. So we just have to continue to work hard each week, each day, and prepare it as well as we can.
What went through your mind when that play was called on third down? It wasn't just trying to get the first down; like it was kind of going for the jugular, so to speak. What went through your mind?
If the ball comes my way, I got to catch it.
It looks like you go with a different Bible verse on your eye block every week. Just what's behind this one?
So, I get my strength from the Lord. Everything I do is to glorify the Lord, and, I try to spread His message each week if I can, and, just be able to bring other people in because He's always searching for our hearts. So, just being able to spread His message and be able to use, my platform to do that, I try to do that each week.
How have the past 2 games really been a prime example of anything and everything could happen in the SEC?
Yeah, we always talk about adversity. We knew it would come, and it just depends on how you respond. So, we responded well this week, and, we'll just continue to fix things in practice that we need to and go out next week and play a better game.
Coach DeBoer always says he likes to be aggressive, and we saw that in the touchdown. We saw it going in on all the timeouts in seconds.
For another player. I'm not getting in that. Unless it's over there. You want to talk to Tim to get one defensive guy? Or do you want to talk about Caden about giving up all their sacks? We'll eventually say yes.
We got Caden Proctor coming in. He'll be in the back.
What's the conversation for message
You could just give him just a little bit. Caden Proctor.
How y'all doing today?
All right, how about you, man?
I'm doing great for sure.
What was the immediate message from Coach DeBoer in the locker room after the game?
Just do your job, coming off that, loss to Vandy, just put that past us. Don't let our mistakes get to our head. Just go play after play, want to know. That's really how you got to, look at it.
Was there a message from any of the coaching staff to you guys in the halftime break just about maybe scheme or something with quarterback protection?
I know for me, just get to my spot. I wasn't really getting to my spot. Six got under me a couple times, and that's just what I had to focus on, was getting to my spot and getting to the punch, not oversetting, and passing off the twist, set vertical for the twist.
We've heard about South Carolina's edge rushers kind of all week. What they kind of
spring and make things a little bit of a challenge for you guys?
Man, they were great. They were some of the best we've seen this season. 6 is going to be a really good player. You know, he's got really good length, really good bend. 5, physical, you know, strong, lengthy too. And those guys are physical. They get off the ball. And yeah.
2 straight weeks, not really up to maybe the Alabama standard. Is that work on your head, or are you able to flush that stuff?
Just flush it, and you know we got the win. Ultimately, got the win, and just flush it and go to the next. I mean, it's behind us now. You know, you got to go play by play. You have a bad play, you got to go to the next play. That's all you got to do.
Do you see similarities in those 2 games?
No, not really. I mean, we got the ball a little bit more. Worked some things that we wanted to do. Ran the ball just a little bit more. Didn't get in too many situations like we did in Vandy, so a little bit different.
What's the message to the team now you guys are about to go hit the road, take it on Knoxville for another possible top 10 matchup?
It's going to be a long week of preparation. Just hone in, focus on how the 24-hour rule. You know, enjoy this win for a little bit, get back to work tomorrow.
Jay, Justice said there was an effort to get a little more physical.
Yeah.
What do you think about the game?
I think the game, you know, was definitely in our hands the whole game. You know, we could have been way more disciplined in our execution and you know, reading our keys. And I think preparation was very great, you know, leading up to this game. And I mean, I think that we came out 1-0.
You said you could be much more disciplined. What's the key to being much more disciplined going forward?
Just really, you know, just like the little things and making sure we're reading our keys better. Those type of things, you know, are the controllables that we can control.
How challenging was it dealing with the mobility with Lynn Norris and Robbie Asher?
Well, you know, those guys are run-first quarterbacks. You know, we definitely have been prepping for that, you know, during practice last week or so. And, I mean, you know, our main objective was, you know, to get them to the ground.
How do you feel like the defense responded to last week's performance?
I think, you know, that game is in the past. I don't really want to think about that game. You know, our main goal was to keep on fighting in practice, you know, the start of really Sunday for leading up to this game and for the rest of the season.
What does it say to respond? You guys responded a few times, picking the end zone, then you responded with no row, interception after. You know, what does the respond mean to your team?
That means a lot. You know, I mean, we're Bama, and that's what we do. You know, just keep on fighting. And I mean, we're Alabama, like I said, and we always face adversity every day, even in practice. So that's the biggest piece. And you know, just having poise in those moments and really being familiar that, you know, we've been in those type of moments before, and you know, just keep on fighting.
Damani went out of the game and came back in and had a huge play for you guys. What does that say about his character and toughness?
Damani's a great guy and a great piece of our success on defense. And you know, everybody, you know, we just love to play with Damani. You know, he plays with grit, he plays with toughness, eye discipline, you know, all those things.
It looked like you were playing a little bit of Wolf today. Has that been part of your repertoire the last couple of weeks?
Yeah,
What do you like
definitely.
about that, or how do you like it?
I mean, I definitely like, you know, I pass rush in high school, so
yeah.
I think I'm a natural born pass rusher at heart.
Were you shocked the way this game kind of unfolded, and these kind of close games help prepare you for playing against a top-ranked team going on the road next week?
I mean, it's the SEC. You know, we always going to get everybody best. We Bama, you know, and going forward with these SEC teams, we just going to keep on preparing with a certain high level of intensity and preparation, you know, so we could come out with the W every week.
How difficult is it to be ready to play Wolf and inside backer?
It's a lot, you know, but when you put your mind to it, you know, well, when I put my mind to it, I feel like I can do anything. And, you know, that comes with the coaches and those guys helping me understand the scheme and, you know, just going out there and flourishing my talent.
What does it take to maintain third down success, and how confident are you that you guys are going to be able to figure that out?
Say it again?
What does it take to maintain third down success, and then how confident are you that you guys are going to be able to kind of figure that out as the season goes?
Really just being disciplined. You know, everybody doing their job and executing. That's the main thing.
What are those conversations like on that long drive as they convert third downs in a row? What are those conversations like on the field?
I mean, you know, we can control what we can control. So if there's something on our end, okay, cool. We're going to talk about it as players, as coaches, as a whole team, and get it right the next time and just keep fighting.
Have you had any conversations with Kane Wama and maybe you and Deontay on how to continue to improve the defense, especially getting those third down stops?
Definitely. Like I said, just really executing whatever call Coach Womack has for us on third down. Getting off the field so our offense can execute and score.
I got 4 turnovers today. It's an area where Ken Womack's really been emphasizing. What was your perspective on getting the ball out?
We need more. I think we could have taken way more shots at the ball. Myself, I could have taken way more shots at the ball. But that also just comes with, just looking at film and preparing like a pro and, just moving forward.
There was some talk, I guess, heading into the game about getting the calls in faster. Did you guys get the calls in faster? Were you more comfortable with how you guys were getting the calls in on defense?
Yeah, everything was pretty fine.
What was your perspective of Damani on that last play?
I wanted to take a knee, but, him just being the ball player he is, he had his eyes on the ball, caught a pick for us, and, just took the game away.
Seems like he might be overlooked in the secondary. What do you think about that?
Say it again?
It seems like he may be overlooked with the rest of his secondary members. What do you think about that?
Damani, he comes in every day, head down, and just work. He's not the type of guy to do a rah-rah talk or nothing like that. He communicates with the guys, he have fun with the guys, execute the call, and he just go play ball.
With this game coming down the wire, how big is it with DeBoer being cool, calm, and collected compared to maybe the past?
I think, it shows his character, being poised, and, along with the whole team. Like I said before in the interview, his energy rubs off on the whole team, obviously, because he's the head coach. And, I think he's doing a very great job with that, and, we all appreciate Coach DeBoer for that.
Were there elements of last week that kind of helped you prevail this week, having gone through on the losing end, but then were you able to kind of use elements of last week's game to kind of help you in a tight game this week?
Somewhat, and some different offensive plays that they had and that they ran, that Vanderbilt ran. But I think most of it was just us just playing Bama football and just understanding that, this is what we do. We got to go out there, execute the call, and play fast and physical.
What was the message after they got the onside kick? That's a quick change. You got to get right back out there so they can stop. You guys really seem to attack him and close it out. What was the message from coaches?
Executing our call. Make sure we're doing I didn't really get a chance to see his play or remember actually, but that's really all it boils down to. Did we execute? Did we have good eyes and make sure we did what we were supposed to do?
What do you think?
That right.
Tim, sorry if I asked this already. Coach Sport mentioned the 5 third downs on the one drive. They were able to kind of sustain one. How do you guys just try and lock in? Like you said, we're going to move on to the next drive. When you give up a play like that, how does it kind of take some energy? Maybe how do you guys get to kind of respond?
On the last 2 points.
Really doesn't take energy. Like I said, it's the same thing. We can't control how we get on the field. We control how we get off the field. Being that, some of those situations we would love to get off the field. It's just, like I said, making sure we understand our assignment, our job, what we got to do, and execute it.
How confident is this defense right now in the assignment, in I guess your scheme, your day-to-day?
Very confident, but like everyone knows, we have a really young team. So it's just like making sure our backups is just as strong as our starters. You know what I'm saying?
Tim, woo-hoo! Yeah.
We're going to do the last 2 questions.
Tim, what was the message? Just ask Jihad this. After they get the onside kick, you guys have to go right back out there, but you really won those 3 downs in attack. But what was the message from the coaching staff?
I don't think I was around or near at the time, so I can't give you an exact answer. I'm pretty sure it was to go out and dominate and get off the field, get the ball back for our offense.
How hard was it to accept last week that y'all basically got physically beaten? How hard was that?
Really hard to take it off.
Is he going to come in? They said they were trying to get him.
Thank you all for coming.
I think ABC gets them one-on-one first.
That means everyone gets it.
We'll stretch.
Hey, Macaulay, I hear you're getting them one-on-one, but you're going to send it to everyone. So we're
Yeah.
good.
You're just
We're working
jealous.
for you.
That was Hoppy. Hoppy sealed off that one.
I love y'all so much.
Now you can see
Maybe we don't get milk, bro.
Wait for him to show.
truth.
Where's the truth?
I put it down there. It was in my way. They're not getting free advertisement on my station.
That's not.
Oh, I'm gonna let my back.
That's what happened to me. That's why you're holding so mad. I'm sitting there doing blow turkey. I got
It's like, I mean, I wish he was at the, like, I wish we were all sitting down here, don't get me wrong, but they're training him to deal with NFL scrubs. That's exactly why they're doing this. So they are getting them prepared for the NFL, the scrubs. So.
Like that was like just right in the
But also the guy does know this.
That was so funny. He's gonna send it out.
Like I put my hand on my hip and started. I was like, oh. You know when you're like,
Everyone's so stingy.
I literally.
South Carolina. We can stop at a gas station. We'll stop at that trip on the way.
Give me $10. Give me $10. We had a great idea last night. We'll just sideline together. Sideline. You did it, like, you did some raspy. You just forced it a little too much.
That's the point.
Oh, can you do it?
I'm not.
I'm with him.
He does, like, he doesn't do the little sideline.
I'm a racer. I like to race throughout the day.
Somehow I'm not hungry. I ate nothing at half. I saw the sandwiches. I was like, I don't know. No, down there, yeah, they always have sandwiches. Well, they might have to steal it. They may still have the cruise. Johnny did that last 2 weeks ago. There was bowls of pasta and he was like scarfing. So, Jamie. The only thing I haven't is the second half of the post, obviously.
Like, what coach number do you need?
Save this for after the scrum.
Like looked right at me. I was like a freshman saying that.
I'm here for it. What are you just
I didn't know if you saw what Ryan Williams did to me. I saw your text. He was quick.
What shirt do you think he'll have today? I don't know. Has he worn a Ryan Williams one yet? No.
I thought it was going to fade. Second time going down.
They have nothing to do with the game. So he plans on Monday, but we're Ryan.
What if he wears a Smitty shirt? What if he wears a Saban shirt?
Can you imagine? Like that's
What if he wears a, what's his face, that I told him to, Bill O'Brien, wears a Bill O'Brien shirt. That would be epic.
Oh, Herb Street.
See, that one you gotta do after.
Herb Street.
Like 5 times.
When he wins the Heisman.
Check this, Jamie.
Thank God. He's been
Like, here's my shoe game.
Yeah, I guess you made it to 42.
Jamie, especially with the show that's what will show everyone talking.
Really holistic career. I don't know how I ended up 2 more. I think I just, someone just handed it to me. I was like,
You know So that's kind of like when a head coach takes a play calling again. That's like the last straw.
They said they're trying earlier, so usually it's like
Last time Bama plays South Carolina at home, he had a career day. 246. 2009.
I'd be a totally different person if I was snap right now. My head.
246 rushing yards. Big touchdown. What? I read the notes.
Say it just like that in your recap. In a big
Well, no, like, I don't even know what I'm going to say for my intro. Be like, they won, I guess.
I guess. That's just what Olivia, I was like,
Yeah, you're like. Makes it exciting, though.
I know. Fun isn't the word I would use.
Sure.
I did too.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad no one has decided to work in here.
Like as a Mets fan.
That would be
You were at that Auburn game too, right?
Guys, give him some space. Give him some space.
Are you pranking it?
You want me to?
that 11-point lead that died.
Yeah, UAB lost
Dude, that's the
44 to
board
10
one.
today.
It's improvement.
Did they throw a touchdown?
Well, I mean, they got a touchdown.
I was wondering
They did.
because I
They got one,
dropped
right?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Progress. I was looking at the rushing yards at the half.
I just don't
UAB
want
11.
my sorry for the camera.
RB 246.
You felt that. I felt out of the interview because I'm like, this is ridiculous.
The quarterback for Army, I covered him in West Texas. He went to the
He
Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, we asked 2 questions.
From
I'm like,
Lubbock,
bro,
Texas?
I can't do this to her.
That's why
I
they
never
become
talked to
jam.
him.
I just see
Did you see him? I was like, we're done.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Because he covered my high school.
I was just like looking. You looked at me like, it was like right there on her head.
Yeah, from middle of nowhere. Where he's from, there's like
It was just the
windmills
lens.
and
It was just the lens.
little oil rigs everywhere.
Just resting on her head.
You're better than me.
Small
And
town.
She looked.
Like
I was,
maybe
and I'm like, we're
1,500
out.
people,
2
maybe?
questions are done. I don't care.
The quarterback
Because
from
my
Army is
story's
from
good.
Abernathy.
I'm not gonna burn this bridge with.
Army. He's from Abernathy, yeah. I covered his senior year in high school. I was
There we go.
well, what class? I would say probably Lubbock Cooper and Friendship was the best. They were our biggest ones, but 6-man football. Let's go. 6-man football. Loved it.
Like this thing was like chilling on her head like that.
My legs hurt.
The mindset you had going into the fourth quarter after what happened last week?
I think, it was so important throughout the whole game. It's all about finish and maximize every time we had an opportunity to put in display our offense. And I think that was so important, especially in the fourth quarter, because it's all about finish. That's when you can really implement the finish mentality, and I think that was so important.
How quick is it to have a short memory? Throw the pick, but then you respond. You talk about finish, but how big is that with the whole team, especially with, they got the touchdown, then they stop the 2-point conversion, finish?
I think that's the biggest thing about playing a position. Of course, you have plays you want back. Even if I didn't throw a pick, there's always a play I want back throughout the whole game. And it's all about bouncing back and then maximizing any play that you have. The mistakes are going to come. That's the best thing about football is that mistakes allow you to learn and grow from it. And so I can definitely say the mistakes that I've had in football, that does give me an opportunity to learn and grow as much as possible. So it's just a great learning moment.
Talk about the play to Bernard, the touchdown. What did you see?
So it's all about reading it out. It's a play that we rep throughout the whole week, and that's and it was all about reading it properly, just having great eye discipline, and allowing our playmakers to make some space, and make some plays in space. And Jerm did a good route on his good job on his route, and I just gave him a chance on the ball.
What's it like being on the sideline? You don't have control over the outcome when you're on the sideline the last few seconds.
I think when you talk about team, that's a great example of just finding a way as a group to just cheer on whoever's on the field, and just everybody just buying in. And I think that's so important, especially when the defense is on the field. Offense should be encouraging them on the field, special team, no matter who's on the field, it's all about the encouraging aspect of it when we're off the field. And so it's all about trust factor too, and then we all have the belief in whoever's on the field.
Did you have any conversations with the offensive line, your offensive line, about maybe quarterback protection, especially with South Carolina's edge rushers?
So you got to factor into this week. We definitely got to acknowledge, the opponent we've had. But that was a great defense that we just played against. They have really good, two great pass rushers that they had. They're definitely good players, and it's something that we just try to prep against throughout the whole week. So, beyond today, we had a whole week of preparation. I thought that was so important when it came to pass pro, when it came to their stunts, their blitzes, how they rush up the field. It was all about our game plan as far as, managing and understanding who our personnel was that was on defense. So, communication was so important on the sideline throughout the game with the offensive line, so we're on the same page.
On that track, how do you think that you dealt with the multiple looks, pre-snap setting protection?
Yeah, so, each play, the requirement of the quarterback, you do your best and try to get our offense in the right position so that we can be successful. And so, of course, they're going to disguise. They're going to give us looks that we haven't seen before with our preparation. That's what they should do. And so, on my end, it's so, it's just a factor for us just to always try to do what's best. And, at my position, just trying to, make sure that we're in the right check, the right pass protection, and having great eye discipline. And so I think that's something that we need to do as much as possible as far as offensive line, a quarterback, just having a great communication. I think that's something we did a really good job with Parker and myself, just communicating and to make sure they're on the right track.
At this point in the season, what do you feel like the biggest strength of the offense is, and where do you want to see some improvement?
Biggest strength, mental toughness. I think finishing, despite anything that goes on in the game, I think mental toughness is so important beyond a talent because, we have a board that says TNT, takes no talent. And it takes no talent to have, that's something that we just try to have, mental toughness, grind, refine, compete much as possible throughout the whole week. And then when we have games, just being our best us and doing our best on that, whatever that game plan or whatever that call is. And one sign that we all want to do is that the first sign of improvement is acknowledging that you need to work hard and acknowledging that you need to improve. And so that's what we have in our locker room is guys that's that's always looking to get better and learning, learning and growing as much as possible because we have a long season ahead of us. And through games, that's our first test to another opponent and allow us to gauge where we're at and also just understand, where we're at as far as, communication and also just putting our best us on the field. So I think that's awesome for us to just not look back and just reflect and just be able to build.
Going off of mental toughness, after everything that happened last week, the noise from everyone talking about this team, how proud are you of the guys for how they responded and took this team's fist punch? Very
proud. I think it's very hard, as far as a group to really come together when there's hardship that that takes place, and I think we did a really good job just refocusing. It's definitely hard for anybody, when you have something like that take place. But it's all about refocusing and understanding what our short-term goals, long-term goals was for us as a group. And so I think leaders did a really good job with stepping up, being a vocal leader and also leading by example and just refocusing us on the path that we want to get to. And the mission is still the mission, and all our goals are still the goals. Now it's all about following those, all of our goals by how hard we work and the mindset that we have.
Can you walk us through the last play of the first half? What was the message from Coach DeBoer after the timeout with 10 seconds left? What was the goal with that last play? Yeah,
I think, it was for us to manage the field, cut the field in half, and just executing the play at hand. I got to do a better job with having great eye discipline, great details, and managing the field, and definitely something that I need to do a better job at, having better ball dominance and details. But no, I think it was just executing the play at hand, just cutting the field in half.
What does it mean that DeBoer trusts you to make those he's very aggressive in those situations? What does it mean that he has that trust in you to kind of make those plays, though?
Number one thing you said was trust. I think that's something that I appreciate about Coach DeBoer so much, the trust factor and the belief he has in me. That it's always vocalized, his belief in me is greatly appreciated from my end, especially when you have your head coach that believes in you each and every day and always has your back, despite anything, despite your failures, despite anything. He's always has my back. So as a quarterback, I'm greatly appreciative of him.
Can you speak to the fact that for the most part, South Carolina took away the vertical pass game, and how patient did you have to be? This is the first time Ryan's gone without a touchdown.
No, absolutely. Yeah, they game plan just like we game plan, so they definitely see how explosive we are on offense. So that's that was definitely something that they saw from us, is that how explosive we are in the vertical game. And so for them to acknowledge that just shows that, they acknowledge, where our strength is. So that was a great job by them. Got to credit, South Carolina for their preparation, their grit, how well they played together. And they're definitely, a great opponent, a great defense that we just played against. And, I'm definitely got to acknowledge, who we just played against and, how hard they fought.
How patient did you have to be with that?
Oh, 100%. You definitely got to be patient, because there's so much football left. And, there's so much time on the clock. And so when you have this time, it's all about maximizing every opportunity, despite any play call or, especially in the passing game. It's just doing my job, just having great eye discipline, and just distributing the ball to our playmakers.
Did you feel like you missed some chances on deep balls, or were there just no chances there?
Missed them. There's definitely opportunities where I could have give our receivers a chance. Definitely opportunity. There's a lot of left on the field, and so that's what the beautiful thing about football is. There's so much opportunity. Now we can refine, and reflect on this past game, and then boom, we can move forward from it. But just always acknowledging that there's areas where we can attack the football field with the proper guidance, and that's what we have with our great coaching staff. That's going to pour everything into us so that we can be the best offense we can be.
You talked the last 2 weeks about having these being learning situations. Are they stacked on top of one another, or were there similarities today in what happened against Vanderbilt?
I think each team that you play against is different structures, and each team we play against is unique in their own way. Everyone's strengths are not the same. Despite any opponent we have, West Kentucky's their strengths is different than USF. Their strengths is different than South Carolina. So each week you learn so much. And that's something that we acknowledge, that each opponent that we prepare for, they're going to give us a different look. South Carolina didn't run the same structure, strength defense as Vanderbilt. So that's something for us when we have this week with game planning. It just understand, who's the personnel, what are the things that they like to run in certain situations, and just us gauging that, understanding that, and just trying to do what's best for us on offense.
What's going to be your focal point this week in practice for you personally?
Personally, get better. Overall, just be the best quarterback I can be for this team. Just be continuing to just guide and lead the guys in the locker room, because we have so much football ahead of us, and as long as we have the right mindset to continue to grow as a group, we're just going to be on our way. And so that's just something I acknowledge from this group, is that we have a great locker room that all have like-mindedness when it comes to what our short-term goals and long-term goals are for a football team. And so I know that that's the best part about being a part of our team.
Thanks, man.